Today, we'll introduce you to a game called the Friendship Game. The rules are simple. Each player starts with a ball of yarn. Once worn, everyone can see the number of friends above each other's heads. After 24 hours, the person with the fewest friends dies. And what about the winners? Nothing happens to them except they must keep playing until their friend count hits 0. Our main character today is Hayato, a tough, poor high school student. No friends. Second rate. Always left out at gatherings. How could someone like him survive this game? Actually, that is an advantage. To survive, they will have to lie and betray each other, a deadly game where human relationships decide life or death. Friends are chains to be cast aside. He does not need friends or connections, just a ruthless mind. It starts with a blonde girl crying like she just lost her deed, screaming in despair. Who is she? In the classroom, everyone else has 2 or more friends displayed above their heads except her, with a big 0. Friend, please be my friend. Meanwhile, the clock on the wall counts down. 17 seconds left. The blonde girl wails even more desperately, falling to her knees, begging, please, I will do anything. Just then, a young man silently enters the classroom. She is still crying in despair as the door swings open like a gust of wind. The man with white hair and dark, wild eyes points at the pitiful girl and her friend. Count 0. You can't even control something like that. The clock counts down to 0 as Myakuzuka's aura turns fierce. It is punishment time. At that moment, the blonde girl collapses. No hope left. Myakuzuka bears his sharp, icy thin sneers. Listen up. Everyone, a person who can even manage their friends. He glares coldly, making it clear. No friends means no future. Tears stream down the blonde's face like rain, accompanied by Myakuzuka's loud, desperate screams. Just end this already. Meanwhile, our main guy watches this scene, feeling a chill. This classroom has changed. The blonde really just gave up for good. The other students sit stunned in their seats. To understand why this happened, we have to rewind to yesterday. Before that crazy guy showed up, everyone was just chatting and laughing normally. Only Hadomaka, our main character, sat quietly in a corner, probably the bookworm type. Suddenly, his stomach betrayed him at the worst moment. 2 girls at the next table looked down and gave him judgmental stares. Who wanted this to happen? Seriously. Hado jumped up, embarrassed, and bolted. Why stick around? Looks like he ran to the restroom and turned on the faucet. Hado leaned over to drink some water to settle his stomach. Just then, 3 bold girls swaggered in. One of them randomly kicked Hado hard, making him wince in pain. Wait, is not this the boys' bathroom? Guess I am lost. Haha, familiar faces. It turns out it is the girl who started this whole thing. Her name is Mei Nanisaka, and she has got a cocky look on her face. Ouch. You are blocking my way, loser. Hado stood up straight and adjusted his glasses. Seems like he is not popular in this class, but he is definitely noticed. These girls never let anyone finish speaking. The purple-haired girl's Kane Tozawa, and the redhead is Siko Bayashi. The 3 of them sneer at him. Poor and pathetic. Just drinking water for lunch? That is sad. Hado could not argue against their insults. Then the 3 bossy girls turned and left. Let us. No time to waste on that useless guy. Hado stood there dumbfounded, his reflection showing his miserable state. Then he held his head, crying out in frustration. God, what a mess. After a moment, he turned and walked away. Hado opened the classroom door and stepped inside, still feeling shaky and tense. As expected, the crowd locked their judgmental stares on him all at once. Hado lowered his head, enduring their mocking taunts. What is this? Just because you are poor, you get picked on at school. He tried to hold it in. Step by step, he dragged his soaked body back to his seat, their scornful laughter ringing in his ears. Maybe that guy will end up drying his clothes at school too. Sitting down, he pulled out his chair just as a familiar figure entered the classroom. Hado immediately focused on this person. It was that crazy Myakuzuka. Who else? He stood up straight. No. Solemnly announced, it is time for an exam, kids. I am Myakuzuka, sent by the government. The whole class gasped in surprise. The government? A teacher sent by the authorities. Myakuzuka gently placed a pink painted case on the desk and lifted the box lid and explained, since I am teaching you all, that means I am your teacher. From inside, Myakuzuka took out a blue-green bottle. This is an order from the government. Everyone has to wear these contact lenses. The whole class got one each. An order. I am already wearing contacts myself. Hado too. He stared while listening to the explanation. Vision will be automatically adjusted, even if you wear glasses. After hearing that, Hado took off his glasses and put on the contacts, still wondering how it self-adjusts. Pretty cool. But what exactly is the government up to? Then Myakuzuka urged everyone to put them on quickly. Once everyone was ready, he wore an excited, almost crazy grin. Now, let us start the experiment. You are not allowed to remove them until the experiment ends. They can clean themselves automatically. A brown-haired girl with a 2 above her head suddenly asked, what kind of experiment? A contact lens experiment. Hado's eyes fixed intently ahead. This vision. What? Hey, once you wear these contacts, you can see numbers above everyone's heads. I can see the number above my head. At the same time, Kuzuka spoke again. The name of these lenses is... He quickly grabbed chalk and wrote on the board. The words read, friend counter. Then he explained, the number above your head shows how many friends you have. The game officially starts now. From this moment on, all of you are government test subjects in a friend filtering project. Kuzuka warned as he spoke, it is limited to this class only. In this friend filtering experiment, you can drag outsiders into it. The wall clock started counting down. 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 50 seconds. What he said next made everyone scared out of their minds. And after 24 hours, the silver-haired guy suddenly cut in. Whoever has the lowest number above their head will die. Be careful if you do not want to end up alone. Looks like this is happening 5th period tomorrow. Kuzuka clapped to calm the class. Friendship is built on mutual understanding. In this class, the serious guy shouted in frustration. What kind of experiment is this, Kuzuka? Or just call me Zuka, my name's too long anyway. He tilted his head, eyeing the young man. Don't he joke about dying without friends? Down below, the kid did not realize how dangerous this was, then reached to take them off. Just kidding. Don't he talk nonsense? The screen time was only that much. His eyes swelled with blood vessels. That confused groan. Then suddenly, it exploded. Plasma poured from his eyes and mouth like a fountain. After that, he just collapsed. Mai was scared, and no one believed it. But then, a volunteer stepped up as an example. Zuka approached the rough young man. Now everyone realized this was no joke. Don't let him go until the experiment is over. Break the rules, and that thing will dissolve, turning into a deadly poison that melts your eyes and brain. Back to Hayato, the main character having a tough time. With no friends and tensions at home. Above, Zuka had pierced the seal. Ready to start, he left but did not forget to glance back. The bond between people directly affects life and death. Remember this lesson well. In a flash, he was gone, only the empty space remained. Use your small brain and think. The initial cheerful atmosphere faded, replaced by gloom and fear, and the most worried was Hayato, who was stressed out, having to keep a friend company for 24 hours. How on earth was that possible? A thought flashed in his mind. I need to get out, so Hayato immediately ran outside. Somewhere far and unnoticed. But suddenly something stopped him in his tracks. Unexpectedly, he ran into Yuka's dad here. Hayato thought he was just a bookworm, but he knew more than he let on. Suddenly, a young man with similar intentions caught Hayato's attention. Looking closer, he was also a 0 number, but from a different class with a different color. Seeing a fellow hometown kid, Hayato immediately approached to talk. You are planning to run too? The boy gave a sharp nod. Hayato warned anxiously. Someone's coming, jump first. Hearing that, the kid decided to jump too. Under men's watchful eyes, he dropped onto the grass. The moment he hit the ground, his number drained, and like before, he exploded from eyes and mouth. By the window, Hayato turned pale, almost scared out of his mind. Lucky he did not jump first. Just then, Yuka's dad placed a hand on his shoulder. Hey, kid, I do not know if men has a heart condition, but he might be heading for an early grave. Yuka appeared like a god right beside him. What are you doing, kid? He looked at Hayato, guessing he wanted to watch what would happen after the other guy jumped, then run away, right? Honest to a fault. Hayato quickly denied it. No way, Yuka said, looking at the dead guy below, then lectured him. This experiment is not some life lesson to gain experience through friendship. It is way harsher. A close shot of the young man's corpse, ants swarming like in the real world. You will give your trust and make others think you are like them. First time seeing ants drink blood like that. Guys, when the critical moment comes, he will use them as a stepping stone to survive. The ants kept following Yuka's words. Then he glanced sideways at the guy next to him. It is a... Yuka teased him but meant well as a warning. Although his face showed shock. You are the only one in class with no friends. Be careful not to become a target. Hearing that, Hayato froze, realizing he was a target as night fell over the school building. Inside Hayato's classroom, luckily they had some bread to eat. Otherwise, they might starve. Kaji's bread was really good, and the coffee was amazing. In a corner, Hayato sat alone, deeply wishing he had a friend. It must be wonderful to have one, but he had no one. Seeing everyone else with friends made him feel deeply hurt. At least someone should come and befriend him. Then he glanced at Mai's group. If I am no longer a 0, someone's definitely going to die. Yuka's words echoed in his head. Be careful not to become a target. Hayato felt powerless. Everyone was just trying to save themselves. Then he clenched his teeth, looking as pale as someone facing the 2025 National High School English exam. All because he had no friends. Was I supposed to die? Just then, the speaker on the wall announced loudly that the phone ban had been lifted. It went on amidst the confusion, warning that discussing the experiment would be punished, and all communication was monitored. If we are allowed, who would not use it? So 2 of them grabbed their phones to call home. Mom? Yeah? I am. Hayato also turned his phone on. Staring at the glowing screen, there was only one message from his sister, Kisaki, worriedly asking where he was and if he had eaten anything, though no meat. She said. Then another message came, from his mom. How the hell was she borrowing money from her high school son? Lend me some cash. Please. Looking at those messages, it seemed Heo was used to it. He gritted his teeth. Again? Always like this? Always? Okay. Time to flash back to the main character's past. When he was dragging his feet home, the sky was a pale orange. Hayao approached the door. Muffled voices whispered from inside. Opening the door, the voices became clearer, like a scene out of a movie or book. Come on. Spread your legs wider. Outside. Hayao's expression froze too. Fill her up with money. Bro. More. Lots more. Without a reaction. He stepped straight inside. Probably because of my dark mind. These two were not doing what you would think, but something else. Yep. Here it is. The bald guy was handing out yellow papers, while the blonde mom was thrilled. Let the wealth pile up on me. He looked at Hayao with a forced smile. Long time no see. Kid, you have grown a lot. Then he handed some papers to Hayao. He never asked if Hayao wanted any of this. Good luck. Hayao. The blonde mom next to him held out a smartphone. Thank you. Teacher, there was one more person in the room. Probably Kazaki. His sister. She looked pitiful but happy to see him. She curled up in a corner between those two crazy people. Big bro. Suddenly, the bald man moved toward Kaseki. Like some creepy old lecher. He leaned close to her. She turned pale, remembering the dojo. I will help you earn more money. As for that woman, I am not sure if she is really their mom. She was happily applying lipstick and chiming in. Awesome. Kisaki, let us make lots of money together. Then the man's expression changed. He glanced at the boy nearby. Haedo, you are still in school, right? Time's coming. You have to join in too. Then he got hyped like he was on drugs. Ophius. Just as he was getting pumped, the girl stopped growing. Teacher, she held up a bill. This is Haedo's share. The man took it, passing by Hayao with a jab. Haedo, you better get involved sooner rather than later. As he left, he waved slyly. Kisaki too. Like mother and daughter. Once the bald guy was gone, Haedo panicked and ran to his sister. Kisaki, never go there. You do not know what that guy might do to you. While they were having a moment, their mom suddenly shouted, Haedo. She only cared about money and slapped him hard. Then she started scolding him without stopping. What the hell are you saying? Don't you know what happens if you do not have money? She shouted, spitting as she got close to his face. I do not know if she smelled bad, but she said, you want to live a good life in this life or the next. At that moment, Haedo felt hopeless. Trapped in a messed up family with no money and no friends. Close to death, it felt like he was stuck in total darkness. Why bother thinking about the next life? This one's already screwed. Just as he was sinking into despair, his only true sibling, Kisaki, messaged him. Looks like it is raining. Should I come pick you up? Haedo cracked a smile. Then tears fell. A sudden thought hit him. What will happen to Kisaki? Because of his only real sibling, Haedo found a reason to live. He texted her back. Don't worry. I am still at class. I have not come home yet. His eyes grew more determined than ever. I will survive and come back. Then Haedo stood up, rubbed his face, and said, time to wash up. After a while, he was walking down the hallway, just passing by the girls' restroom. Suddenly, a girl stepped out, startling him completely. This girl Miyai? Shirano's sister. Haedo, shy and awkward around girls, shyly stepped past Why let a girl make the first move like this? For someone like Haedo who has never had friends, this was way too overwhelming. Then he rubbed his head, thinking he must have misheard me and those guys. Just then, his friends called out at the perfect moment. Emi, so you are here. I have been looking for you. Emi looked helplessly at him. Wait, but those two kept pulling like a tug of war. I need to talk to you. Come on. Haedo stood there like a clam, expecting to make friends, but got interrupted instead. A moment later, he went into the boys' restroom. Haedo wiped his hands. Still dazed, having just brushed past the shy girl Haedo stood, looking ahead, then opened the door back to the classroom. What caught his eye was Miyai sitting and talking with Meia's group of girls. Then Haedo mustered all his courage and stepped forward. About earlier. Again interrupted, a tall girl shouted. Hey, that was a fail. It was... Of course. She looked at him with disdain. What are you doing? Do you even know? Do you even know? I am trying to make friends too. You know, that only made Mei more furious. Then she glared at him with hatred. She was twirling some kind of bag in her hand. Who would want to be friends with this guy? Mei held up a yellow bag with letters on it. At the same time, she sneered at him. Here, this is the charm my mom sold to my dad for 50,000 yen. Immediately, whispers spread around. Ayada just froze. Your mom sold it to my dad for 50,000 yen. She sold it? What does that have to do with you? That thing cost 50,000 yen. That charm's really worthless. Mei started criticizing. My mom is ready to sleep with anyone just to raise donations, right? The more she spoke, The angrier May got. That woman tricked my dad and took a lot of money, and then my family fell apart. Meanwhile, Haeda's face darkened. Even though it was not his fault, he still apologized for the history. I do not know if you have a reason for that. You do not know. But I am sorry. But I did not do anything. Hearing this, May looked disgusted. She dumped the contents out of the leather bag, and inside there was the fingernails of some man. Then she threw it hard onto the ground, in front of everyone watching. Don't talk about happiness after destroying someone else's family. At this point, all he could do was stand there and take it. Isn't he dying supposed to bring you lots of money? So now you know. Yeah? Now you know. Isn't he dying supposed to bring you lots of money? Soon the night turned to dawn. The night passed just like that. The countdown clock showed only 58 minutes and 57 seconds left. Haeda sat below, utterly desperate. Remembering those nasty kids, he got even more scared out of his mind. At this rate, I will be dead in an hour. At this moment, May acted like a bossy queen again. She approached a friend. Hey, Sai-ho, can I borrow that? I am so... Sai-ho reluctantly handed over the book. I just bought it yesterday. Let me finish reading first. Immediately, May stepped closer, threatening. Your friend's asking to borrow it. If you do not lend it to me, I will stop being your friend. Got it? Then Sai-ho had to give it to her. May took it with a smug look. That is right. You have to make your friend happy. Then other female students started teasing her too. May is really annoying. She always borrows other people's stuff. Haeda heard everything from the side. I am about to die, but they are still worrying about fights. The more I hear, the more dizzy I get. This is bad. I do not know how to sew this up. Suddenly, I got an idea. I got it. If she likes fighting that much, I will give it to May. Then, Haeda reached into the desk drawer to search. A bit old, but it should be fine. After a while, his eyes opened wide in confusion. Huh, it is not here. Haeda was completely panicked. He emptied the entire desk drawer. It is gone. My stuff is gone. He remembered it was just here last night. It was just here yesterday. Someone stole it. Looking at the stuff in front of him, he was extremely puzzled. Who in their right mind would dare steal my stuff right now? Remembering May's previous words and actions, May is really annoying. She always borrows other people's stuff. That is right. May has to make her friend happy. Haeda immediately became suspicious. Could it be? I have to talk to May. I am sure it is her. Of course. I discovered it again. But does she really like fighting that much? She has not even read the book she just borrowed. Now there are only 14 minutes and 5 seconds left. Haeda's heart silently made up its mind. I have to change the situation. There is no more time. 2 female students nearby were still talking about May. Speaking of which, I just lent her an e-book recently, and she still has not returned it, even though that crazy girl never studies. You are always sharp. Could it be? Haeda opened his phone screen. After fiddling around for a bit, he looked astonished. Damn looked at what was on the phone. Then he turned, getting ready to go somewhere. Haeda approached the 2 girls who were teasing May. Hey, the e-book you lent May, is it the gray one with a name on the back? The yellow-haired girl looked at him curiously. How do you know? Haeda immediately raised the phone screen. It was sold for 2,000 yen last week. Seeing this, the short-haired girl's face turned purple with anger. That is mine. The name was erased. Then, unable to hold back, she went straight to that girl. May, you sold my e-book on the online market, right? May was still stubborn, not knowing her time was running out. She tricked her. What the hell are you talking about? Then the 2-toned-haired girl showed the evidence. This is your account, right? Her worried friend stepped forward. Hey, standing up to May is really scary. She has got crazy blood in her. The 2-toned girl pushed the yellow-haired girl's hand away. At the same time, showed her what was on the screen. Seeing it, the yellow-haired girl's eyes widened. What? No way. Immediately, she was fuming. This is the DV set May borrowed. One after another, they came to criticize little May. Finally, I got the signature of the artist I like. Selling it is totally unacceptable. Huh. She is still confident and arrogant. Don't cry over a coffin you have not seen. What proof do you have to say it is mine? Just then, Haeda stepped up like a god. May, hand me your phone. Show the screen to little May. This is a manga drawn by my dad's friend 15 years ago. Only 100 copies were ever sold. Little Two Colors instantly recognized it. That means the notification just now meant it was sold. And now, little Mai knows she has been caught. She stared at the phone in panic. Chai-ho, who was just borrowed for a story, also stepped forward. So you just announced my manga, right? I already bought it. Show me your purchase notification screen. Even now, she still tries to argue. Her face must be made of stone. Don't lie. I did not do anything. Haeda pushed her away. The shipment takes 2 weeks to arrive. From May's desk drawer, he pulled out 2 manga volumes. But since they are here, I will take them. Then he handed 1 volume to his Chai-ho. Thanks. That is when Chai-ho finally opened her eyes. She looked straight at May. I do not want to be friends with a thief. Instantly, her friend count dropped from 8 to 7, but May still did not realize the disaster about to hit her. What are you talking about? The whole group turned their backs on her. I am done being friends with you. Between Hayato and May, Hayato is way better. The 2 girls always hanging around Mai looked at her with disgust. Come to think of it, Mai was the one who came up with that idea. Chai sighed in disbelief. People like that are scary. I do not want anyone like that in class. And May's friend count kept dropping fast. She was so shocked she almost peed herself. Hey May, your friends are down to just 1, and that 1 belongs to Tix, but she turned her back on them too. I am leaving too. Goodbye. Mai was left in despair. Wait. Hold on. And then, What had to happen happened. The game was flipped upside down. Now Mai is the one with 0 friends. She refused to accept the truth and screamed wildly, and the clock showed only 4 minutes 19 seconds left. Mai was too ashamed to be angry, but angry she was. You guys played dirty. Betraying me like this. Kan E and Se looked at her with disdain. You always make me pay when we buy drinks. So annoying. Sai Ho, sitting and reading comics, spoke up. I always hoped you would be someone different. Only now did she fearfully collapse to the ground. It is all your fault. Little Two Colors laughed wickedly at that. I find this hilarious. She went over to Heya to ask, will you be friends or not? He immediately looked embarrassed. Is that okay? Saiho happily invited too. Can I be friends with you too? He quickly answered, if you are okay with it. Heya now has 2 friends. All thanks to Mei's dirty tricks. He silently gave thanks. Thank God. I do not have to die anymore. On this side, Mei looked up. Only 3 minutes 2 seconds left. She felt like she was falling into hell on earth. The moment Mei saw it, she became even more desperate. Crying pitifully, her face twisted like a monster. She just tried to grab 2 people and Kane, please. I will pay for all the drinks, so be friends with me. Why the hell would anyone be friends with her? Look at Mei's face. Both turned their bikes and mocked her. I will pay for all the drinks, so be friends with me. I do not need your money. Hearing that, Mei fell into despair. Just like that, same scene as at the start, she cried for a vaccine. Ooh, that one. Mei struggled within the class. Friend, please be friends with me. The whole class started whispering. 17 seconds left. This is terrifying. And she still begged like a street beggar. Please. I will do whatever you want. Then the door finally opened. Lucky Yuka stepped inside. The current number of friends. The kid could not even control things like that. Mei froze. Still mumbling. Friend. And then what? There is no and then? She became the first round logo. Over here. Hayata still could not believe it. I'm like, now I can meet Kiseki. Yuka was still lecturing the kids. Same in real life. Some people fall into the abyss because of small changes. 2 people cleaned up and took Mei away. Looks just like Squid Game. Right? Yuka kept grumbling nonstop, clinging to every little penny. She did not realize she was losing everyone's trust. That is why no one wants Yuka. Instead, she created hatred matching her punishment. Kane and Se watched her from afar, a bit scared. Yuka announced the next rule. Next, groups with the highest number of friends will die. Hearing this, Haida froze, just escaped death barely. But it is not over yet, still continuing the punishment. Suddenly the number 2 above his head reset. That is why no one wants Yuka. Instead, she created hatred matching her punishment. Next, groups with the highest number of friends will die. Hearing this, Haida froze, just escaped death barely. But it is not over yet, still continuing the punishment. Suddenly the number 2 above his head reset back to 0. Not just Haida, but everyone else too. The numbers back to 0. The clock started counting down again from the beginning. 23 hours 59 minutes 57 seconds. The deadline is still tomorrow's 5th period. Hayato rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Groups with the highest number of friends will die. Suddenly he declared, we can still save ourselves. Hayato stood among everyone. Everyone can survive together. Meanwhile, Yuka frowned, watching his actions closely. Saiho looked at him confused. What do you mean? All eyes were on Hayato now. If everyone is friends with each other, then a big group will form. Hearing that, the kid with 2-colored hair was thrilled. This time, no one will die. Suddenly, a blonde guy who looked like the school boss arrogantly spoke up. Playing nice. Huh, and his name is Tomitaka. He laughed smugly, like I could live peacefully with that nightmare. I pick my friends carefully. Meanwhile, Yuka drools and looks eager. How wonderful. I will watch a little longer. Down below, a group of boys is heading toward Brandon. Suddenly, all 5 heads up their change at once. Brandon's crew is already that big. The guy gulps down his drink, then scoops him into his mouth. Brandon opens his mouth and laughs loudly. Here you guys are. More guys join right away. Now there are 12. Hayato watches. Furious inside. Here comes the squad. He immediately gives the orders. Now there are 2 in the class, meaning even if the others band together, they can beat the numbers. Then Hayato gets pissed off. Brandon, what are you doing? If we stick together, no one has to die. But to him, Brandon looks like a stranded mermaid. What is this loser even babbling about? Like a goldfish in a bowl. Meanwhile, little goldfish looks really worried. So if we do not join Brandon's group, we are dead. Suddenly, a banana head guy named Sora Hozoi approaches. He frowns and whispers, I do not get it. Look over there. Just notice now. But he is wearing a fancy watch too. Must be some rich kid type. Even his earrings are gold or sparkling diamonds. Same with his necklace. Looks pretty flashy. No joke. Sora figures something out. That guy just wants attention to look cool. Watch this. He steps forward and starts buttering him up. Boss, that watch is insanely cool. Can I will do chores for you. Immediately. Just like the others, he frowns and whispers. You will do chores for him, just as Sora expected. You are still smart. Sora. Welcome. Thanks. Then the number 13 appears above his head. 2 other guys from the group invite more. Anyone who wants in this group will survive. Joined up. 2 worried girls watch them. Then they speak up loudly. I will join. Me too. Sora quietly speaks to the 2 Eidos. If I take them in, everything will be fine. Then they lead him to join Brandon's group to survive. Just in front of Brandon, he is tall and broad. I forgot. You gotta do some tasks first. He holds up a wad of cash. Exhausted. If you want in the group, hand over 100,000 yen. Hearing that, The two freeze. Where in the class do they have 100,000 yen? Brandon arrogantly points. I said I picked my friends. In response, Sora's face goes blank. Wait, 10,000 yen. Little Goldfish is super worried. I do not have that much money. The two Eidos look at him with questioning eyes. Why? At this tense moment, Yuka seizes the chance to preach to the kids. Why? For some, a hell where life and death blur is the most profitable place. You protest, saying if we unite, everyone can survive. Hearing this, Yuka smiles kindly, though not that kind. The kid's idealism is right, but then he snaps back like a demon, telling you that softness is just a painting on the wall. Then Yuka turns and leaves, leaving the kids to survive on their own. See you tomorrow. At that moment, Brandon chuckled and flashed his flashy watch, saying, bank transfer works too, but I will raise the price tenfold. Pay 1 billion yen and be my friend right now. The weaker group of classmates stood worried on the side. They thought Sora would be accepted since he was helping Hiato, but now he is stuck in the same mess. He patted Hiato's shoulder. Hey, lend me some money. I can't. He held the wallet in his hand. I do not even have 100,000 yen, let alone lend it to anyone. Then Brandon laughed proudly. Come on, we are a team now. Right? Get over here. Two other guys from the group started calling out. You have got phones? Right? Ask your parents or friends to transfer the money. Sora anxiously looked at his phone. My family's poor, and I do not know anyone with that kind of cash. Ignoring him, Brandon pushed harder. Hurry up, or I will raise the price. Then Kane and C began calling their families to pay tuition. Yes, a bank transfer, please. The brown-haired kid was scared to tears. What am I going to do if I do not have 100,000 yen? I am done. In this crisis, Hayata spoke up again. Wait. Everyone. Calm down. Brandon's group definitely has the most people. He confidently suggested a plan. If all of us band together, that is 10 people. If we can pull 2 from Brandon's group, we can. Brandon still looked arrogant, not scared at all. Suddenly, Sayo spoke up. I do not think it is that easy. Then quickly showed his phone. It was a picture of Brandon on social media with a bunch of expensive watches. You do not really know him, right? Seeing that, Hayata went pale. How does he have so much money? Saiho started sharing everything he knew about Brandon. I heard he is involved in financial scams, teaching others how to make money. Looking at the watch on his wrist. That is all I know. Brandon acted like the leader of the gang, always taking charge to get cooperation. Not only that, he had several fresh young girls around him clearly using money and gifts to buy loyalty. Suddenly, Shiori shouted. Wait, a friend called her name anxiously. Shiori. She noticed the watches they wore. Even the guys following Brandon were. They should know what is more important, human lives over valuables. Brandon calmly pulled out a cigarette and lit it. Shiori lost it again. Don't let those lousy bills blind you. There are 10 lives at stake here. Come on. Suddenly, Brandon called to a guy in the group. Hey, lend me your hand. He grabbed the guy's hand and held the cigarette in the other. Brandon arrogantly waved the still burning cigarette. What do you mean by small change? Then he pressed the hot cigarette right onto the guy's hand. Ignoring his painful grimace, he put a band on it. Don't underestimate the power of money. Those words did not sway his reason, they only made him more defiant. After my awesome speech, who dares be my punching bag now? Brandon slammed his foot on the table. Don't underestimate our friendship. He insisted. If life is worth that much, then pay 100,000 yen now. The girls reluctantly agreed. We are joining your group. We are worth more than 1 billion yen. Witnessing this, the two Hayatos were fuming with disbelief. Another person joined in. Me too. I do not want to die like that. Now only the two Hayatos and Shiori remained. No way. Now there is only. Suddenly, Shiori, who had just been lecturing Brandon, was walking toward him. Seeing this, Brandon laughed smugly. Your friend still does not believe it. No way, Shiori. The blonde kid's eyes widened. Never thought this would happen. We have been friends since way back. Shiori shrugged. Anyway, your own life is what scares people the most. I do not want to die. If 1 billion yen can save me, then I will pay. Suddenly, a loud voice caught the two Hayatos' attention. Showing sympathy for Brandon, in front of him knelt a young man. Please, let me join your group. His name was Wataru Sasaba. Pleading earnestly, my parents are sick and can T come up with 1 billion yen? Yet he generously gave one chance. Brandon frowned, saying, I am not a monster, so I can give you a shot. Then he reached out to the girls. But it would not be free, that would not be fair to those who paid. Wataru quickly knelt down, bowing deeply, thanking him profusely, ready to do anything. Brandon, feeling confident, said, now listen to the mission, the entrance exam. Wataru looked up nervously. Entrance exam. This guy's definitely not nice. Brandon tilted his head. I have to see if you are worth 100,000 yen. I need to test you. Then he started complaining. Lately, I have been ambushed at the school gate a lot. Suddenly, his hand landed on Wataru's shoulder. Wataru panicked and looked toward him. Brandon smirked wickedly. I want you to lure those guys away. Then he turned to another guy. Hey Ken, take care of him. Ken clenched his fists, ready to punch at any moment. Yeah, this orange-haired guy is Ken Akano. He slipped a ring on and taunted, hit me face or stomach. Anywhere fine. Wataru immediately froze like a stunned rabbit. Why so sudden? Ken radiated a powerful aura. He landed a solid punch on Wataru's cheek. Blood trickled from his nose. Gritting his teeth, Wataru winced in pain. Seeing this, Ken stayed serious, ready for a proper fight. Why the blank look suddenly? Wataru collapsed. So scared he started crying. Then Ken looked at Brandon. This guy's no good. Just a punching bag. But Brandon coldly said, keep going. Ken was puzzled. But this guy has zero chance of fighting back. Brandon stood up sharply, getting close to Wataru. Listen carefully. Remember how Mei died? Recalling Hai-Hung's scene, he kept planting fear in Wataru. You want the same fate. Gathering all his courage, Wataru charged. He grabbed Ken's stomach, who was completely off guard. Ken slammed him hard against the table edge. Everyone witnessed the painful scene. Humiliated and furious, Ken swung a fist at Wataru. It hurts. Really hurts. It hit him smack in the face. Not stopping there, Wataru was blasted out like a storm toward the window. Ken lost all control, grabbing Wataru's collar and pushing him out the window. You ruined my image. You started all this. Remembering the rough youth before, Hayato quickly intervened. Hey, stay away from the window. His good intention was ignored by Ken and Wataru alike. Wataru was almost falling out. Half his body was outside the window. Then he fell, life just full of pain. No surprise, he had to suffer the same fate as the others. Seeing this, Ken froze, speechless. After a moment, he snapped back in shock. What the? Hayato clenched his teeth, unable to walk. He began explaining. Jumping out the window counts as escape and will be punished. Then Brandon smugly approached Ken. Looks like this was all part of the plan. Well done. Just like you said, he is just a punching bag. Ken turned to Brandon and declared, the match is decided. Brandon pulled out some medicine and sprayed it in Ken's face. This was to reassure those who paid 100,000 yen that their decision was right. Ken finally slumped down, looking like he would just come back from the dead. Almost died for half of it. After that, Brandon looked at another guy. No more talk. He immediately went up and slapped the boy. Then he ordered, hurry up and apply the medicine for me. Though it stung and hurt, the boy endured it for his life. Fido glanced at Brandon, calculating the cost. He started negotiating with the two who had not joined Brandon's team. Brandon never intended to let Wataru join, so the only way to survive is to get 100,000 yen. We just need that money. Your hands are steady and firm, showing clear determination. Even though after the experiment ends, he will only be focused on grabbing the money. Aido shouted straight ahead. We have to end his reign. Sora worriedly placed a hand on his shoulder. But how? Aido began analyzing the situation. He has both money and power. Clearly something we can't match. You tremble all over. So I am trying to figure this out here. Suddenly, the phone lights up. You immediately realize it is a message from your mom. On the screen, a message appears. Mom is going to sell Dad's comic collection and encyclopedia. Meanwhile, Ada feels powerless about that too. Even now. For heaven's sake, Cindy. Then you quickly start typing on the keyboard. Ada firmly protests. Don't he do that? Those are Dad's keepsakes. Everything we have left to remember him. Memories of childhood with Dad suddenly flood back. Those were happy times. But Mom, obsessed with money, still wants to sell them. I can't just cling to memories like that. Dad's rebirth depends on our donations. Aido thinks a moment and decides to sacrifice money to keep the keepsakes. There is 5,000 yen in the drawer. Mom can use that. Just do not throw Dad's stuff away. Remembering that smug bully, you feel furious that cult leader is at it again. Chasing money. Aido watches Brandon. Everyone's been fooled by appearances. Then you compare the two. But looking deeper, they are the worst kind of people. Looking at the bookshelf, an idea suddenly hits you. Aido focuses and thinks, I will become someone like Brandon or that cult leader. With that thought, you turn and walk out. Sora and the little golden one look puzzled. Hey, where are you going? But you are in a hurry and do not bother to answer. Rushing straight ahead, certain it is nearby. Soon, you arrive in front of the library. Inside, Hayato searches for a certain book. After some digging, you pull out a book with a cover showing green trees. Seeing it, Aido feels like it is a lifesaver. This is it. This will save us. By now, the sun is setting. Evening is falling. In the classroom, only Sora and the little golden one remain. Standing against the others, Sora anxiously tells her, Hayato still has not come back. Suddenly, both glance toward the others. Brandon scratches his ear. Bored? Let us play a game. If you win, I will let you be my friends. The others exchange knowing looks and smiles. Sensing something's off, the little golden one immediately warns Sora. Don't look them in the eye. Brandon keeps taunting. I like fighters. He keeps provoking and teasing. Hey, you loser. You think hiding in the corner will save you? The teacher says they can move. But Brandon stands up. Brandon steps closer to the two. Soon he is right in front of them. That was just an accident. I was gonna let you join if you took a few punches from me. Then he puts on a fake smile no one believes. I am human too. I do not want to see anyone lose their mind and die. Looking at this guy's face. Who would believe that? So here's an idea. How about a tug-of-war challenge? Hearing that, Sora looks confused. But Brandon turns away. Leave it to me. It is just a game. Soon, night falls here. Out of nowhere, Brandon pulls out a long rope. He sits right in the middle of the rope, surrounded by some others. Let us start. But Sora quickly stops him, raising a question. Wait, if it is tug-of-war, how many people on each side? Brandon immediately replies. Only one on my side, the tiny one there. The little golden one looks at her own body nervously. What? Facing Sayori, Sora tries to reassure. It should be easy. Right? Brandon smirks from the side. All players. Get ready. Hen frowned at both. Are the others ready? From outside, 2 students entered, each carrying a bowl. Yes, I brought it. They set it down on the floor. Sora looked at it, utterly confused. Girl, what is that? That bastard was smug. It is special glass shards for you guys. I just wanted to make it a little fun. As soon as Sora heard that, she collapsed inside. No way. The bowl was full of broken glass pieces. How could I put my foot in that? But Hen did not seem to notice. Donnie say that. Just try it and you will understand. You do not have any other choice. Both fell silent immediately, faces full of worry. The 4 in the group, including Brandon, all wore sly smiles. Since we are doomed anyway, might as well risk it. Sora gathered all her courage and lifted her foot. Then her foot went into the bowl full of glass. It caused her intense pain. Her face twisted as if she wanted to scream loudly. Brandon showed no mercy and shouted to hurry up. Come on, put it in. Both feet were inside now, shards piercing her skin, making her tremble, cry out in pain. After one was done, he looked over at Sora. You too. She closed her eyes tight, sweating, thinking for a moment. Then, trembling, she put her foot inside. Brandon snapped his fingers. The game begins. When did this folk game turn into torture? The group shouted loudly. Keep going. Siri, pull harder. Brandon threatened too. If you lose, I will be really disappointed. You know what'll happen then, right? Siri was worried. Reluctantly spoke up. I will. Kane could not stand it any longer. She begged her best friend, who was focused on herself. Siri, stop. Siri shut her eyes tight. Sorry, Kane, but I do not want to make Brandon angry. Meanwhile, Sora kept pulling hard. Both fell flat on the ground. The time-up signal sounded. Their feet were bleeding from the glass shards. Just then, the door opened. Hayato had returned. As soon as he entered, the scene hit his eyes. What are you guys doing? Sora struggled to sit up and explained. Hayato, he said if I win, he will let me join the group. Hayato sat down beside them. If I stayed here, who knows what would happen to me? Let us. Brandon kept provoking from the side. You will just go cry like Wataru did, cause that is the only way you survive. But those words did not get through to Hayato. He helped both out of the classroom. A while later, by candlelight, Hayato carefully cleaned Sora's wounds. Suddenly, he spoke, seemingly losing hope. Let me print this out. I'm gonna die tomorrow anyway. Kane added from the side. If I stayed here, they would not let me join either. But Hayato refused to kneel before Brandon. Sucking up to Brandon is not the only way to survive. Sora looked worried, not fully believing him. Then Hayato pulled out a bag. I have thought of a way, but it will take time. Anyway, do not join the entrance exam. Just wait for me. After speaking, he left. Sora quickly reached out to call him back. Hey, wait, Hayato. But Hayato did not seem to hear. He was already gone. Time kept ticking. 54. 29. 54. 28. 54. 27. Sora and Kane stood before the classroom door. What do we do? We do not have much time left. Sora gritted his teeth, thinking, even if I say that, what can we really do? Then Kane suddenly threw open the classroom door. I do not want to die like this. Inside, Brandon was still laughing and joking with the others. The moment he saw them, he sneered with amusement. See, I told you so. Sora's whole body was trembling uncontrollably now. Hayato, he said he had an idea. But where did he go? Ken raised his eyebrows, guessing, probably hiding somewhere, or trying to escape only to die in some corner. I do not care about him anymore. Then she immediately lowered herself before him. Sir Brandon, unexpectedly, she even lay down begging, please let me join your group. I will take the entrance test. Brandon glanced behind her. Sora, what about you? Then he also trembled and knelt down. Damn it. He was right, this was the only way to survive. At this point, You have totally dropped your pride. Please give me one more chance. While both were kneeling, Brandon suddenly threw out a red pair of pliers. Sora and Kane immediately panicked, using this to rip off each other's fingers. He shouted arrogantly, "Let us see the show." Right now, the intense entrance test begins. Just then, the door swung open quickly. Hayao was not lying. He stood there hurriedly, voice a bit reproachful. "I told you guys, no more entrance tests." Hayao stood seriously, holding a blue bag. "Where have you been?" Sora anxiously asked Han. Kane quickly urged him. "Hurry. Hayao." Yugas, hearing that, he strode confidently into the crowd. "You will beg," Sora warned seriously. "There is no other way." Now Hayao stood in front of both, sat down, and ordered, grabbing the pliers. "You too. Join this group." He then tossed the pliers aside, less than 10 minutes before the other group disappears. "You do not have to lose a single hair." Hearing this, Brandon was furious and confused. He stomped the glass floor beside him hard. "What do you mean disappear? Without hiding anything?" Hayao replied bluntly. "Your friends." Hearing that, his anger exploded, grinding his teeth hard, quickly grabbing a water bottle. Those about to die with blown brains. Brandon threw it straight at Hayao. "Don't rush in." It hit right on his head, causing him some pain. The water spilled to the floor as Hayao's gaze hardened. "No sign of joking. From now on, our group will be the biggest." Then he named 3 people. Kane, Tr. Still a chance. Do you want to switch groups? Hearing this, Sagame. "What are you saying? We already paid." "No switching." Brandon remained arrogant. "Hayao, you are dreaming. Our group has 8 people. You only have 3. That is reality." He was not scared, just replied sharply. "But reality might just flip around." Hayao clenched the bag's strap and suddenly called a name. "Ken." Unexpectedly, Ken came over to Hayao, looking like he would been caught, which made Brandon ask suspiciously, "Huh? Where are you going?" Soon Ken reached Hayao. Ignoring Brandon's calls, he grabbed Hayao's hand. The number on their team increased to 4. Meanwhile, the girls started wondering, What is going on?" Brandon was furious. "Hey Ken, what the hell do you think you are doing?" I wondered too. The group that joined Brandon's team from the start all moved forward together. One guy stepped forward and casually reminded him, "Remember your promise." C and Kane were stunned. "Awesome. What is happening?" Amianx looked confused. "Hey, what is going on? I paid for this." One said. "Too many people are leaving," but Brandon went crazy, threatening repeatedly. "Stay put. None of you move." Brandon threatened again. "You think I will let this slide?" Suddenly a gold ring was thrown at him. Ken frowned, returned it to him. "I owe you nothing now." One by they started taking off their items, each piece of jewelry neatly placed on the table. Brandon clenched his teeth, glancing angrily at the items. The car immediately realized. Those people, shaken by Brandon. Why are they all going over there? All of them. At this moment, the 2 quickly urged. "Less than 20 minutes left. What are you still doing?" Only a few remained, and one of them spoke confusedly. "What do you mean?" "Too chaotic." "Over here." C and Kane joined in. "Let me join your group." "Me too," you quickly agreed. Of course. Instead, the others were all panicked. "Wait, we are the only ones left?" The worm stirred a bit. She tightened her grip. Then she spoke for the whole group. "Sorry. 280. Please let us join your group." Without hesitation, the 280 gladly accepted. "Come on it." Just like that, the game flipped completely, leaving only Brandon on one side. His face no longer held that arrogant look. "Girl, what is going on? What the hell is happening?" Meanwhile, the 280 also apologized to Sora and Kane. "Sorry for making you wait until the last minute. Now we can finally say goodbye to the fear of death." Both looked at you with bright eyes. "I believe in you. I know we can get through this." "Me too. I trust the 280 will save us." Hearing that, Sora teased her. "Just now you said some bad luck stuff like you would run or die." The 280 forced a smile and rubbed their heads. "I do not blame you guys at all." Turning shy, Brandon suddenly stepped forward and grabbed the collar of a guy. "Idiot!" But a hand stopped him. It was Ken, who sternly warned. "Stop. Your desperate efforts are pathetic. It is 20-1. "Shut up." The one grabbed by the collar winced in pain. Now, everyone looked at Brandon with burning anger, and yet he foolishly thought he would get to join them. "Damn it. I do not know what you are using, but the 281. Are you satisfied now? I will join your group." The 280 finally smiled. "Yeah? Welcome." But what he said next made them clench their teeth. "There is one condition." Looks like the 280 want revenge by giving him back what he did. He grinned triumphantly. "I always choose my own friends." Brandon stared in disbelief. "What did you just say?" "You bastard." Sora and Erika next to him immediately shouted. "You did the same thing. Serves you right." Sora recalled earlier. "You know Erika and I are best friends and you still made us do that." One by The other classmates spoke up. Give me back 100,000 yen. Scammer, acting so proud with just a little money. Faced with this, Brandon cursed silently. Damn it. Say whatever you want. In the end, he had to agree. What is the condition to be your friend? The two Edo slowly sat down and grabbed a pair of pliers. Hand over all the money you have. Hearing this, he panicked. What? He stood up slowly. Facing him, cash and crypto. Everything. Brandon started to get nervous. I would not even steal from someone. 100,000 yen is enough, right? Then he raised the pliers with a dark look. Better settle this with money while you can. You do not want your nails ripped off, right? Brandon looked a bit scared. Slowly took his phone out, then showed his account balance. I only have this much. Just let me join. Suddenly a voice exclaimed. Not bad at all. It was Ken, stepping up to his desk. You still got that, right? Brandon anxiously called out. Hey, do not pay him any mind. Ken kept digging out something, then he threw it to Hayato. You forgot this. That is, now only 4 minutes 40 seconds left. Ken crossed his arms seriously. Less than 5 minutes. Is this the time to bargain? Better to save your life. Hayato quietly opened a Visa card. Inside was 2.5 million yen. Brandon started to beg desperately. Hayato, please let me join your group. Please. Hayato's hand clenched the stack of cash tightly. Because of this, because of these papers, you pushed Wataru to the brink of death, and even joked with the lives of me, Sora, and Erika. As he spoke, he threw the pile of money like scraps at him. You think this is worth more than a life? Brandon knelt on the ground, gritting his teeth. Helpless. Hayato continued seriously. Life is not a toy. If you are my friend, remember that well. Time ran out. We burst into tears. Ken remained serious. With the number 21 appearing above each person's head, Hayato had brought him into the group, successfully saving his life. Sora and Erika happily approached him. We really made it through. Hayato, tell us, how did you get them to join our side? Then Hayato opened his bag full of cash. With this, you thought I was some kind of mobster, right? If only you glanced quickly. By showing them this, I bought off all of Brandon's henchmen. So that is why you disappeared for so long. But the top bill was just a copy taken from a magazine. The rest was fake money, just paper cut to size. He raised his phone screen and said, I told them this money came from my mom, the cult's treasurer. Sora placed a hand on his shoulder. Sincerely. Hayato replied. Anyway, what matters is the result, right? Ken slowly stepped forward. The 1.5 million we gathered split among 11 of us. That is 20,000 each. Hayato replied immediately. Thanks. I will return the remaining 80,000 in cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, Brandon knelt in bitter frustration. Just 300,000 yen was enough to buy them off. At that moment, Teacher Yuka entered. Speaking of friendship, respect, trust, and admiration, while they thought they were surrounded by something else entirely, his red pupils flashed. In truth, it is all just money in disguise. Whoever holds the fake goods must be careful not to fool themselves. Yuka bared his sharp teeth, glancing at the students before him. Looks like most of you never knew what was real from the start. Then Yuka's face lit up happily. Anyway, you all did great. Let us take a break. He turned toward the door. Follow me. And everyone eagerly followed. They arrived at a room. Yuka opened the door. This way. Inside were tables with hot pots set on each. What is this? Someone noticed the names written there. Yuka continued. Each table seats 7. Please, have a seat. We are throwing a small party to celebrate your hard work. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere. The three of them gathered around a hot pot, marveling. Looks delicious. Now Hiko picked up a bowl, smiling, and said, Excuse me, he asked Yuka, who was by the table. Do you have ponzu sauce? Yuka's eyes flashed sharply. Yuka pointed ahead and turned the volume up very loud. Don't underestimate the broth. The ingredients have fully released their flavor. Hearing this, now Hiko got a bit flustered. Sorry, I will savor the ingredients properly. At the next table, Ami was excited. I want my little brothers at home to try this too. Erika, sitting opposite, asked in surprise. You have brothers? She chatted happily. I have 3. They are noisy but adorable. I also have a little sister. And suddenly Hayao froze as if struck by lightning. Ken immediately patted his back. You okay? Chew carefully. 2 at the next table turned toward him, surprised. Honestly, I thought Hayao would not figure it out either. Yeah? Yet he is still alive. So embarrassing. Now Hiko joked. Maybe it is the nail talisman that worked. Emi quickly shot back. Don't talk about that at the dinner table. That talisman belongs to Hayao's mom. Right? Erika added. Exactly. No way a talisman saved us. Don't flatter Hayao. No one laughed. So now Hiko scratched his head awkwardly. Just kidding. Do not get so serious during fun times. Emmy stood up, looking at Heyo. Pass your bowl here. There is plenty of meat left. Thanks. She smiled gently as he ate heartily. Then Heyo suddenly froze as if remembering something. He looked ahead and declared, "We all survived. Let us go home and let our siblings enjoy a good hot pot." As he said this, the numbers above everyone's heads flickered wildly. Above everyone was the number 5. The number changed 5. What does that mean? Juke explained that the numbers show how many people are sitting at each table. Now Hiko was puzzled. But should not it be 7? Why 5? A glitch. He smiled knowingly. Maybe it only counts your allies that night. Juka dropped a bombshell. Those who poison others at the party won to be counted. Everyone turned pale just hearing that poisoned. Then Juka slyly pulled out a piece of paper. Right now, the party is about to start. Everyone please open your chopstick sleeves. Thank you all for watching the video. Thank you all for watching the video.